The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
County Sportsman, WDC is now on your radio. Coming live from the Bay, yeah, that way. They talk sports all day, LA. Dropping knowledge, high school, college, trying to score, play by play. NFL, NBA, NHL, that's right, you name it. They gon' bring it to you live. Talking sports and entertainment, from the famous and the, you name it. Cover all sports, from the football field.
Good evening, welcome to Sports Collective TV. I'm your host and moderator. I'm Farron, aka WDC. I want to thank you for listening today. As always, we have a very spectacular, important show for you right here on Morris Media Live, Mondays at 5 o'clock. Have you been checking the social media? We got it all covered for you. We got some boxing, call that Bags to Canvas. That's my new segment for that show. We're going to test that out today. We got Chasing the Hoop Dreams, and also we got some PACRim. Of course, the PACRim edition, you've been seeing that. We've been posting the player of the game and the player of the week. So we're going to get right into the start of the show. I'm going to give it to Cali Sportsman, so we can let you know actually what happened this week at the PACRim game. I mean, from the videos that I saw and put together, it was a game-winning shot. So, Cali Sportsman, you want to address the PACRim?
Man, Fredo got to get back. So they're the world. The world sees me now. Anyway, what's up, Sheena? Happy birthday again. All right, yeah.
PACRim.
Off the chain. You know, it's funny because a lot of these guys, they come in and they just want to play the game. You know, they just weekend warriors. Some of them not really chasing dreams. They just really want to play. You know, so we did the Drew and we've done other, you know, the LABC where the guys are really chasing the dream and getting those stories. But this past weekend it was really about guys who just really just want to get in the gym and just play and win. So the MVP for PACRim hit the winning shot. So these guys was kind of going back and forth, and it really didn't pick up to like the fourth quarter because a lot of errors, guys who shooting probably who not need to shoot, and then once they gelled and figured it out and started playing defense, then it was actually tied up all the way fourth quarter. And then the MVP of the other game
Ryan. His name is Ryan.
Of Ryan. He was like the secret assassin. He just lit him up, pow, pow, and then all of a sudden it's a tied up game. Then they made an error, got the ball out of bounds, and he did one of them Stephen Curry's off the glass,
falling,
toot, toot, toot. And it was pretty good. And then the opposing team, you know, they took it in stride. And then there was some other teams prior to that we got an opportunity to say, but to see that they are just in there, man, to really kind of work hard. You know, had conversations with some of the referees in regards to how these guys don't really practice. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's always been a big thing watching these leagues. None of these guys really practice. They just show up on Saturday and Sunday and play. You know, and some of them been playing for, you know, forever, and they've been playing with each other for a long time.
And in different leagues. Yeah, you're talking about playing 3 or 4 times a week.
Man. Or sometimes in a day.
Yeah,
you know, so they might have like there was 6 games that day. Yeah. So, you know, and then they may have to go to another gym and play another 2 games. So, you know, when we're talking about earlier about sacrifice, I mean, these guys work during the weekend, they go in the gym, they in 2 and 3 gyms, they got to pay ref fees, got to pay for your team to play. So it's a lot of pieces that come together. So, you know, shouts out again to PACRim and Don because they given another opportunity for people to kind of play the sport, you know. And we always look at, you know, I always said, sports, you know, black owned, black played, black coach, which is basketball.
We lost some friends on that stage.
Yeah,
oh wow, yeah,
which is which I was saying is that basketball of all sports is the only sport that's, and even boxing, that's black owned, black played, and black coached. So if you look at football, that's not the case. You look at any other sport, it's really not the case. So I always felt like in the inner city communities, that was kind of, you know, basketball can get you to the next level, if it's even just going to college. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? So so here we looking at, you know, Asian descent group of people that just love the sport, man. And, you know, it's all below the rim, so it's not a lot of guys in there just dunking, you know. But the other piece of it is that they integrate. We learn the whole, I mean, you might want to speak more on that. We learn that, you know, you're integrated with all these different cultures in a culture.
I mean, as far as, you know, when they're chasing the hoop dreams, a lot of guys don't realize that if you're black and Filipino or black and Asian and you want to chase that dream overseas, you could actually go and get your passport for that part of the country you're a part of and not be, you know, a walk-on, but actually be you know, someone that's part of that community. Okay. So that was something new to me. Like, we didn't never look at it from that perspective, because we hear guys, you know, playing on these teams and trying to get that one spot, when actually if you are, you know, Japanese and black, you could actually get a passport from Japan to actually be able to play on the Japan as a native versus...
Because they only allow so many players that are American over there anyway.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So, you know, and so we was, you know, we've been doing this. So we just, you know, another piece of that was just trying to figure out wherever they go. Because even the guy you interviewed last time said, you know, he played over there.
Yeah, he was Filipino, but he didn't want to wait. Yeah. He wanted to just play, and so he didn't wait the year to just came back home.
So
how his get picked up, he was going to play right away.
They're not signing NBA.
Oh, I know.
So play. To play, so you know, game. So it's gonna pay you a whole season. You got like we've heard, you know, you might be a roommate and it's my competitor. You know, somebody might have to go home tonight. If I hit 30 and he get 28,
he going home.
He might be going home tonight. And they write you a check and give you an airline ticket like it's nothing. And this, you know, and this is the life these guys live going overseas. But you know, go back to what you were talking about, sacrifice. They, by all means necessary, we've heard people pick up the different languages, trying to understand the foods.
And it's also letting the youth and the generations behind us know that you don't have to be in the NBA to be a professional. Right. A lot of youth think that it's that one stage, and we're sharing that you could be Mexico, Spain, China, Japan,
and they all chasing bags
on that same type of level.
Yeah. Think more globally.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's one of the things that I like, and why, you know, why you hear is that backstory. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, what is that guy's life like? Mm-hmm. That's got that drive to play basketball, even in his 30s. You know, I'm playing for my son or whatever they're playing for. Those are the stories that I want to capture.
And we capture all right. Some of them is the you know, my mother, you know, passed away. My, you know, I broke my ankle. My this or that, but something about the sport, I just still love it. You know, I've been homeless in my car. You know, the stories are just phenomenal because it's like you being on the day. It's no pre-Q&A. You guys are getting it raw. You know?
And it's like, you know, some of them transition from chasing the hoop dream to now giving back. So now they want to coach or they want to train, take their knowledge, and again pass it back to the youth behind them and help develop them and give them that guidance that they didn't probably get.
But, you know, we kind of being a little rude because that is PACRim. Shouts out to you.
Yeah, no, we got the clip. No, I got to play the clip.
We probably want, we got this little trophy.
You want to do that right now?
Just introduce him.
Right,
say, you know, give an introduction. That's the song.
Don't give it all away. Just introduce yourself so they know who they see on the screen.
How you doing? I'm Martin TooSmooth Allison. I'm getting ready for my professional debut October 27th at the Avalon in Hollywood. Go to my Facebook, Martin Allison. Instagram, Marty TooSmooth. Link is in bio.
Cool. Go ahead, sir.
My name is Ariel Scott, man. I'm just a brother of my man Martin Allison. Been there since the beginning. Seen him kind of when he chose up to come into his career, man. And, it was just I admired his drive and the way he took it. It started off with a buddy before ours. He was in the gym. Then he got into the gym, and we used to just talk. We used to go to the gym every day, and he was like, man, I really think I love this thing. I can't get away from it. And so he just kept on going. And saw him going against other boxers and stuff in the gym. And I'm like, yeah, if you double down in this, man, this might be something for you, for real. And it's just beautiful to see his journey. So I'm just here to support, man.
Well, we're happy to have you. So we're going to do that PACRim, but I definitely got to get into his story.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get into it. So, Fredo, you can drop that PACRim clip. This is the game of the week 4 of season 86.
30 seconds. 2, 1.
Hey, shout us out. What's the count? I'm Ferran Dozier, aka WDC. I'm your producer, director, and host on Sports Selective Media. We got a segment called Chasing Hoop Dreams. If you want to be a guest and share your story, share your Chasing Hoop Dreams, make sure you go to Instagram at Chasing Hoop Dreams and send me a message. If you're playing in the PACRim Basketball League, you're going to see me out there with the cameras and the microphone. I'm looking for your story. I want to know what your Chasing Hoop Dreams is. So make sure you hit me up at Instagram, Chasing Hoop Dreams. Don't forget to shout us out. What's the count?
So yeah, that was game of the week right there, huh?
That's game of the week. Do we have another game to go to? I think that was it. 4 games.
No. I'm sure there's next one this coming Sunday.
Well, I'm quite sure they got another one, but I'm just saying, we fulfill his obligation of all the games.
No, we got one more. Okay. Oh, you thought? The obligation.
The obligation. I'm just worried about that. So we can re-obligate.
We got one more obligation.
Okay. But no, shouts out to PACRim and then P4E, LABC League, all the hoop leagues that, give us an opportunity to get that story out. So we getting into some boxing?
Man, I guess it's time. You want to take a quick break?
Nah.
No?
Nah.
Separate the segment?
Nah.
No? All right.
Yeah, you go for a break. That's fine.
Well, how about before the break, your Raiders, since we didn't do any sports highlights?
There's nothing really to say.
I mean, y'all won, whatever.
Yeah, but come on, man. Let's talk about them Dodgers. What about them Dodgers? Is they going to pull it off, Fredo? What's going on? I wore the Dodger hat today.
Struggling.
Fredo, what's going on, man, with the Dodgers, man?
We're winning already, man. We got 3 more innings. Out. we out. We coming back to LA.
Right. Okay. All right. Good. All
sports fans?
When you grew up in LA, you gotta be some sports
gotta go
fan.
for the Dodgers.
Yeah, you know
You're a Dodger fan?
And the LA Rams.
So hold on. This is going to be interesting. This little part here is going to be interesting because you're a Clipper fan. So was you a Clipper or a Laker fan?
You know I'm a Laker fan.
Yeah, he did that with high eyebrows.
Yeah, well, because when you say Clippers, it's like a stepbrother or something, and you could get like 4-pack of tickets and free hot dogs and sit on the bench back in the day.
Well, that was about 7 years ago. But, Lakers.
Why?
Even when we had Kareem Rush, I was a Laker fan.
Why?
All right. Well, I got to ask the question.
Wait. Why?
Purple and gold. It's just you grow up in Los Angeles. That's the Mystique team. You hear about Showtime. I wasn't born in that era, but it was just a big thing. I loved Jordan too growing up, but it was just that purple and gold.
Love success, study success,
and that's the Lakers.
That's what it is, man.
It's cocky.
So the talk on the street, Fredo, you heard the talk on the street, right? So the talk on the street is that who's going to be the contender for the Lakers in the West Coast? Is it going to be the Warriors? Is it going to be Houston?
I think it's going to be Houston.
Is it going to be Clippers?
I still think they're sleeping on Houston.
I think, yeah.
Oh, we going to be in the way?
He a Laker fan.
The Clippers are in the way. Denver? The Nuggets? They did well last year, though.
Yeah, I mean, they could beat anybody in their own stadium if you don't have a proper oxygen level.
You got educated up.
At altitude.
But yeah, I mean, I think Houston. I think they're still sleeping on Houston a little bit.
So Raiders, go back to the Raiders. It's sad and happy all at the same token because when you watch that was that preseason game where the Lakers was playing the Warriors at the new city stadium that's in San Francisco, and they gone. They ain't Oakland no more. And then now the Raiders is gonna have that same sentiment when they go to Vegas. So it'd be kind of cool if they pull off a get to the chip. I don't see them winning the chip, but I see them getting to the chip. So if they can get to the chip, that'd be great for my city.
That's a stretch, though. Huh?
Remain prayerful.
Right, very right. Football team.
Yeah.
LA Rams, man.
Why not? So you can't be a Chargers fan because you realized they were in San Diego.
Yes.
But you know that they were originally in L.A.
Yes, and
Okay,
then
I
also
just wanna check,
my
just
grandpa,
check.
who's now passed away, he used to always love the St. Louis Rams, and of course he was alive when they was in L.A. So I was there. That's why, although once again Patriots, I love the success that they've had, but I was hurt. I was hurt when they beat us in the Super Bowl a while back. I remember watching that with my grandpa and just being hurt from that. And from ever since then, I never really cared for the Patriots after that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I was just wondering where we was going with
No.
this.
LA Rams.
He likes success.
And then even more so, I mean, our brother Robert Woods, he went to Sarah with us in high school.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you went to Sarah.
Yeah,
Cardina.
Definitely supported.
Yeah, we graduated in
Red
the same
and white.
class, so man, I gotta support my man. You feel me? He
Red and white.
doing his thing, man. It's good to see him back in the city doing his thing with his girl now, married. You feel me?
And you the Rams fan too?
Yes.
Is there any particular reason?
The reason, well,
Hold on, eyebrows going up. Eyebrows going up. You gotta watch the eyebrows. Whoever your opponent is, you know you about to get knocked out when the eyebrows go up.
Don't give it away.
it might come this way, it might come that way. You never know. Growing up in LA, we always heard about having a football team, but we didn't have a football team.
That's true.
So,
USC, UCLA.
yeah, that was our team.
it.
That was so it was just good to have them come back. And of course, I'm not going to be a Chargers fan. It's not.
All right. Well, then I got to break it down since we went college.
Okay.
Because there's a divide in Southern California.
Completely.
So for me, being a non-Southern California folk, I went UCLA basketball, USC football. Where you stand?
Didn't really follow basketball that much. Like I was always been a football player. As far as college, I didn't really get into that. But as far as football, always been USC.
Okay.
Always been USC.
Well,
there's Wooden in the UCLA. That's the legend. Right?
I mean, I got graduated from USC and I work for USC.
Okay,
right now.
that's right. Where the money go?
I'm thorough.
Go where the money
go.
Go where the money go.
I was going to say I went with loving basketball, so USC basketball. Since the McCall family played for them.
Do you have some vision?
I don't
on
really
that?
like college basketball.
Wait.
College basketball, but if I had to pick one, it would be UCLA. If I had to pick a college basketball.
Oh, basketball.
Yeah,
What about football?
I've been to a USC football.
I ain't say been to the game and had a hot dog.
I'm not a college football fan either. I'm just not a fan of it.
I
I
mean,
remember Penn State because they had DJ Dozier back in the day. Penn State, so last name. So.
Okay.
I mean, the only
Penn
reason
State
I threw it back,
Lions.
I threw it back because we got this legislation that's about to pass here at the NCAA allowing, and by you being an athlete, just imagine if you took up boxing at a college level and had the opportunity to get, because you talked about this story earlier in regards to how you had these sacrificial efforts through college because you had to go get a job, you had to do this, that. Now think about your sport having an opportunity to get you paid and go through college. So you didn't have to go get that job, and then you could just study. You know what I'm saying? So what do you guys think of the new legislation that's happening here for the NCAA? Do y'all know about it?
Yeah, I've definitely heard about it. I think it should have been happened. I'm happy for them being an athlete. I don't know if this has came out, but I know of people that have played, they're already getting reimbursement checks back.
Wow.
I don't know if that's public, so I might be breaking something, but I know 3 people who've played at University of Washington, Oregon State, and Fresno State who have recently in the last few weeks got reparations, literally. I don't know if they're talking about it.
We had this conversation, and Fredo, you remember this too, when I was saying, first of all, how do you debby out the dollar? Based on player board. And then you look at the sacrificial efforts. Go good. But guys, that put everything in the sport for the
Education.
I agree.
That's like the Uber driver now want to get an hourly wage when you volunteer to drive your car for this company. Now you want them to pay you an hourly wage.
What about the millions of dollars that's being made?
You can't compare. You can't. That's not for you to. That's not your lane. You can't. That's
So
not you
saying if you are a roommate, say you stand in someone's house and they only want $300 for the room, don't worry about the mortgage. Just worry about your little $300.
If that's what you tell them to pay,
right? But I'm just saying, don't get into all the other stuff because they ain't got nothing to do with you.
Pay me my $300 a month. That's your water and whatever. And if the water bill goes $400, I'm not gonna ask you for kick in another $100. No, I told you to pay $300. You pay $300. So why do you want to go divvy it
I think it's because when you look at Pac-12, the old Pac-10, and you look everything. Right. I mean, West Coast is big. I always say California in the state is a country. So we got everything: valleys, deserts, mountains, beaches. So we look at all the schools. There's over 152 schools in California. So it has to be something for the legislation to do that. After all these years, it has to be more to it. And that's what I'm waiting to see. Yeah. What's the more to it, or who pockets is getting fluffed? Because I always thought it would be simple. I mean, you went to an out-of-state market school, right? Prairie View, right? Yeah. So just imagine every kid at 18 goes to a university or school. Every school has a market that has bowling alleys and movie theaters. That approach I agree with. Because that's what all you really want to do is you really want to be able to go to the mall and get you some ice cream, take your girl to the movies, stuff you really just want to do. And so what if what if that company gave the university stipends for the athletes to be able to utilize those services?
Yeah. Now that I agree with. Yeah. That I agree with.
And then now it's equal across the board because we're not talking about paying you because you're talent. We're just saying, hey, we know you need extra money to do stuff. So we'll give you this help. Yeah, so we'll give you this help. Good.
I think in the Reggie Bush, that was the biggest thing. That was the biggest thing with Reggie Bush. And the fact that his was a little different. A lot of people feel bad about it, but the thing is, like, he was getting money from a potential agent. So that made it a little different where it was like, he was my favorite football player. So I know that specifically he asked to get an Impala. He asked for rims on the Impala. He asked for a house for his parents to live at. So when it gets like that, it does kind of get tricky because it's like, all right, you as a college football player, should you be getting and asking those things?
But you're also in the number one market in the country playing with one of the biggest universities in the country.
It's tough.
It's tough.
It's tough. Tricky. It's tough.
I mean, when you look at the USC success, the story behind it, when Carroll was here, it was basically kind of integrating them to understand L.A. and Hollywood and all the pieces that come with it and all the distractions. And, it's a tough market to actually work in. I'm just going to see what Howard going to do now, Mr. Laker fan, since he back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? See, he couldn't handle it at first. This is tough market.
All right, so before the break, we had this off-topic conversation in the waiting area about sacrifice. And my man Ilya has dropped the word sacrifice I don't know how many times.
Yeah, let's go Dodgers.
So the perception of sacrifice, for one, you kind of brought it up, and I heard you mention that about if you're up to something in life and you feel like you're sacrificing this to do that, right? And sometimes that could be disempowering, and you chose a word that commitment gave you more power than using the word sacrifice. So say what you were saying about sacrifice, and then we'll wrap it up.
I think I should say more now that I heard my friend Ariel's opinion, that from an athletic perspective and where I am in life and where I have been in life, using the word commitment is more empowering to me than saying sacrifice. Because sacrifice means like, oh, I really don't want to do it. Yeah. Like, I don't want to do it, but I have to. Commitment is like, okay, I didn't finish school. Commitment is, oh, I do have to work. Commitment is I do love boxing. So what am I going to do in order to achieve these things? I'm committed to the process. I was supposed to have a debut in July, but the business wasn't right. But I didn't stop because I'm committed to this process. And now a couple months later,
here you are.
It was not a sacrifice that I'm doing it. It's my commitment was so strong that either way it pans out, and now I'm here talking with you guys.
And I think the word commitment kind of aligns with goal setting. You know what I'm saying? Because partnership, commitment, it's relationship. It's like you're reaching to get to a certain goal. And so I kind of understand from your perspective, but I understand how certain words can have a negative connotation in your personal life, just going to being a word.
Because it's the context, and what people don't understand is if you ask someone, how's life? And they say life is hard, people describe life. How life is hard, it's a struggle, then you're going to use words like sacrifice because it's like you got to give up something to accomplish this. When if like I learned, if you in your vision, purpose, passion, and gifts, then it all goes in a line. So if I'm doing this over here, I'm doing talking over here, I'm at the beach over here, like whatever I'm doing, it's all in my aligning my vision. So I'm not sacrificing being here when I could be somewhere.
But as a group, spiritually, church wise, we've heard the word sacrifice and what it embolies may not be the truth of the matter, but it's a lot of people use that as, a strength because they know biblically, Jesus put his hands on the cross and that whole spiel there. So it's the sacrificial effort, but you notice they put the word effort after sacrifice. So that's why I like the word. Why I like the word commitment because it still goes.
I think if people talked in a context before they got into the dialogue, then that would keep everything in this basket here, right? So if I'm talking to you about using ground beef to make spaghetti, and you start talking about using ground beef to make hamburgers, we're not talking about hamburgers. We're talking about spaghetti. Right. So the context of the conversation is how are we gonna make the spaghetti? Not put that you can make hamburgers and all this other stuff. No. We talking about spaghetti. So I think if people really conversated in the dialogue of a context and kept the boundaries of that context, then misunderstandings wouldn't happen. A lot of stuff would,
So let's take a little quick break.
Cool.
We're going to come back and we're going to get into my man's real deal.
All right, so this is Sports Selective TV. Shout us out. What's the count? Again, go to Instagram at Sports Selective Media. Also on Facebook at Sports Selective Media. And we'll be right back.
This segment was sponsored by PACRim Sports. Visit PACRimSports.com for more info and listen to their selected games live broadcast on Sports Collective Radio. AskIlya.com, media marketing experts here to help you grow your business into the next level and boost your sales. Visit more. AskIlya.com.
The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as SUHS, is content to understand possible links, also known as C, and stress-related events, known as REs, such as exertional thrombosis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African-American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your health care. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.
All right, welcome back to Sports Selective TV. I'm your host and moderator, Ron, AKWDC. Again, make sure you go to @PACRim on Instagram to follow all the highlights from the games of the weeks for the 86th season, brought to you by Sports Selective Media. So, let's go.
I mean, I trying to catch it in. My thing is, I'm always looking at the shit itself, right? It hit. Like football, we hear basketball players like, oh, you don't play football no more because they got their belt on, right? So I don't understand boxers because there's offense and defense. You got the Aikido and you got both ends working at the same time, mentally and physically. So for me, that's trying to understand that. Like a football guy want to play football and want to go hit, you know what I'm saying? Or it's some sort of connection to contact. Guy who plays basketball has a different mindset. Guy who plays baseball has a different mindset. It's like a chess in their head. Mm-hmm. So that's what I really want to know is what's the animal behind boxing in regards to the sport itself?
I think it's very cerebral still. That's a lot of thinking because once your brain stops thinking in the ring, you won't even be able to actually implement a game plan or anything. You're literally going to ball up. Like literally you'll ball up if you stop thinking. So it's a lot of thinking. Of course, you definitely have to at least be okay with some type of physicality, at least like it. Like,
have you been knocked out?
No, never been knocked out.
Okay.
But actually, I got hit in the lower area today. And a lot of guys would take like a whole round off, or something like that. But it's like, what are you doing it for? If I'm not affected by it, I'm really here to work and train. and get better. So, I mean, I got into boxing. I really was a fighter. I was one of those kids that bought their fists instead of like talking things out. When people go back and forth, they calling you, playing the dozens.
You throwing the first punch.
I'm throwing the first punch, and then actually,
me and you can hang out,
and then we can be friends after. and then we can be friends after. I've always been that guy.
We already talked about friends. Ain't no such thing as friends. But I'm hitting you first, though. I know that. I'm with you.
So let's go back. Let's go back in time.
There you go.
Okay.
Growing up, give me your environment growing up.
My grandmother from East Texas, Ruby Jean, she actually had Christian schools. She had 3 on Western. So I went to her schools off of Western growing up. It was a great environment. My mom's a teacher. My dad's a preacher.
Wow.
So,
church on Sunday.
On Western.
On Western. But it's still LA. We're in the city, and it's this thing, growing up in Los Angeles, like where everybody has the toughness around them. You have that toughness. Everybody wants to display themselves as tough. Now, who's really tough? Then that's a different thing, And my thing was, growing up, I've always had that same mentality. I was a quiet kid, shy, but I always had the will to compete. I was a football player up until 21.
So football was one of your primary first sport?
Football was my primary sport. This is my 6th year in boxing. I found it when I was at junior college, at Cerritos College. Mm-hmm. And I was on the way to transfer with my AA. I knew that football, it wasn't going to be too much longer.
So what was that 4th down for you in football? What was the transition of this is going to be it for me? Position-wise? What was going on?
I found boxing. I found boxing like the summer before my last year, and I started going to the gym. I started doing the mid work. Floyd Mayweather, when I was like ending high school, that's when he started really getting really big. So I fell in love with Floyd, and he really motivated me. I guess that's the big part I should say. Floyd Mayweather's mentality motivated me as an athlete and a young man. The hard work, the dedication. I fell in love with that mentality. I saw everything that he got from it. A lot of people get caught up in the money part of him, but they don't really focus on why he was successful.
His skill set
and his work ethic. And out here, I was going to junior college. I really had to stay focused because going to junior college and you're living in Los Angeles, it's not easy. It's rough. I went to Sarah, like Ariel said. So most everybody, 99% of the school went off away to the university. Mm-hmm. So it was only like 3 or 4 of us that went to community college. And, it definitely helped me stay focused, but I fell in love with it. And I'll say, you know what? This is something that's not a team sport. I don't have to worry about the coach. I don't have to worry about politics. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, it's a fight. So even if I'm getting beat up, my back is against the wall. It's on me. And I love that part of it. I love that mentality of it. That's what really drew me in on it.
Well, where did this whole shy kid come from? What happened? What was going on in life that made you, or had you become shy?
Well, first of all, my mom would like me to say this. My name is Martin Coy Allison, so it means my name means quiet warrior, okay, or humble warrior. Okay. So I guess it was a namesake thing, and I don't think it was as a shyness. It was just my nature, but I always show my personality through athletics. Okay. That's been a constant in my life. I show my personality through athletics, so I think. It was a blessing because at first I thought I was like, okay, I'm going to be a basketball player. Oh, no, I'm going to be a football player. God is telling me I'm going to be a football player, a professional athlete. And then it was like, I found boxing. It was like, okay, so this is it. This is it. And it, like I said, it found me. I found it. And I ran with it. I really ran with it. I went to college. I went to Prairie View in Texas. This is one of like 8 belts I've had. I did about 70 fights. I was 61-9 out there, and as my belts, a lot of people thought, like even my parents, I'm not throwing anyone under the bus. They thought it was.
There's no buses in this neighborhood.
Okay, no buses in this neighborhood.
We got the train.
I mean,
it's coming.
A lot of people thought it was like something I was doing to take away that void from football. A lot of people was like, oh,
So you know
side
where
eye.
I was going, like, because it's still a kind of a contact sport, you know. But it's
I gotta ask, what made you walk away from football besides the love of boxing? What was it? What made you walk away?
The politics behind it.
yeah.
The politics you're in junior college. You're a grown man. A lot of guys, people I know didn't get their first job because of their commitment to sports till like their mid-20s, because they did junior college, they went to the university, and then after they were done with that, okay, I didn't go pro. I didn't go pro in my arena, so I guess I'll start working.
Yeah,
I mean, really the truth of that is that
that's cool.
The whole grown man piece he talks about is that's what keeps them lingering, because they know they'll be grown men going to a 4-year university after they spent the 2 years of really developing.
Right.
So they didn't really get all the other skill sets, life skill sets, because they're still focused on the recruitment process, because that's what's in the recruitment.
Was that like an identity crisis for you? Was it an identity thing going on, or was
as
it
far
just,
as the
transition? Yeah.
Well, I knew going into that last year at Cerritos that I probably wasn't going to get the playing time that I deserved because of I had.
What's
two
the
people.
position?
I was in slot receiver.
Okay.
So the two people
so
ahead
you
of
got
me,
a little set of wheels too.
Yeah,
right?
they were from Long Beach. I'm an LA kid. They were from like the Long Beach area. They were more, they were brought there to play at Cerritos College, which Long Beach people, Compton people from Downey, they're recruited. Like for me, I would be a more
dotted line
if I was
LA
at El
stuff.
Camino.
Right.
If
So
I was
that's
at
the
El
politics.
Camino, I would play the politics.
Yeah.
So I knew, like coming into that year, it's like, dog, you're not gonna get no scholarship. But I knew academically, I was ready to transfer with my AA and do that. So I was like, okay, so we're gonna finish this year, because the benefit of being an athlete is you get priority registration. A lot of people take one class in junior college for like 7 years, but you get a full schedule because but you get a full schedule because you're an athlete. You have to have at least 12 units, to be eligible to play. Yeah. So I was seeing that last year. I was like, okay, I did boxing literally that whole summer coming up to the season. I said, I'm gonna focus on football. And right when the season done, I'm telling you, I was at practice thinking about boxing, and that's how I knew it. That's really that was the transition there.
Your mental toughness. You talk about your parents being preachers and your grandma.
Educator.
Where do you equate your mental toughness from?
Definitely faith based. If I didn't say that, then I would be denying myself. My mental toughness comes from my faith. And just the mentality that despite everything that goes on in life, the faith that I have in God trumps everything, and I will continue to go do God's will because of that. Whatever He sets me, the path He sets me on, no matter what, I won't negate that, because this is the strength and the power He gave me, and I have to be in that existence. I have to be fully into that. So that's where it definitely came from.
Definitely. So let's moving forward. From the bags to the canvas, what was your outlook on your boxing career? What were you starting to chase or look for?
Well, right now, I'm getting ready for this debut on the 27th.
Venue, where to get tickets?
At the
Houston, we
Avalon.
calling you out.
At the Avalon, it's in Hollywood. Go to my Instagram, like I said, at Marty TooSmooth. The link is the ticket link is on my Instagram and also on my Facebook, Martin Allison. You can find me. The ticket prices, $60 for general admission, $80 for standing room floor, $100 for the second row, first row, $125. And actually, if you want to be really close, buy the ring mat is $150.
That's some spit coming at you.
Oh yeah, that's slobber and all of that shit.
All that. So, and just excited. It's a blessing. Like I said, I was supposed to have my debut, and that's a big part, I should say. Boxing, like everything, is a lot of business involved. So you want to have the business part right, and that's what I've learned. I've been back since March, and it's like as far as managers, promotion, the right backing, sponsors, it's necessary if you want your career to be a certain way, or you'll be set up to be an opponent. Yeah, that's people that are trying to be prospects fight to beat. So there's been a lot of...
So that's politics all within itself.
Within itself, and it's been eye-opening, but it's been a blessing that I've been able to get a team, and get the right situation. I do want to shout out the promotional company, 360 Promotions, their venue and their card I'll be fighting on. Thank you for giving me the opportunity as well.
Let's go, I'm like a mental toughness, like military. So
Okay.
24 years, been depressed, came out of it, doing God's work, purpose, and all that. Where does your mind go? I know you talked about you're always thinking. So when you're training,
How about fighting?
where does your mind go? I want to know where his mind go because I want to know
mind,
what are you
okay.
dealing with?
I'm executing my game plan. That's where my mind is. And if you're not thinking about executing the game plan, it's like, I don't know what you're thinking about. Because it's not like and I'm not going to disrespect the UFC because they have 5 martial arts that they're using. It's really implementing the game plan. What I want to do.
Because you studying your
Wait. Yeah.
What I want to do, as far as do I want to lead with my jab, control it with my jab, and then you're negating whatever they're trying to do. You're taking that. You want to be able to take that away from them and discourage them while implementing your game plan on them.
Okay, go ahead.
That's what I was so. Y'all right on that?
Really good question.
Go ahead.
Keep your clothes on. It's a family show. So,
Girlfriend, that's not happening. My girlfriend watching. He's just talking.
I'm trying to understand. Because you have to study your opponent.
Right.
Left hand, right hand, lead off foot,
Exactly.
muscle off the back, move, bobbing. But then doesn't some of that always just be kind of superficial? Because when you actually start fighting, then you're in a fight now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like having that game plan based on you studying your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you really actually stick with that?
Yeah,
You
want
have to?
Yeah.
If you want to do what you need to do and dominate and win the rounds, you want to, and that's the I guess the cerebral part because you have to stay relaxed. Even though he's coming, you still have to be like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, here's my game plan again, and I'm gonna negate. Oh, so you did that? You're throwing the right hook. Okay, well let me take that away. I'm gonna put that glove right there so you can't throw that, and I'm gonna throw something to make you think about throwing that again.
Okay,
But
so that's what I'm getting
you should
at.
understand it as an athlete, though. No, as an
Hey,
athlete,
that's
you
what
should
I'm getting
understand
at.
that because if I listen to him from my military perspective, we train how we fight. And there's no way in the world, no matter what you're doing over there behind that rock or that bush, when I see what I see what I see. And so your mindset has got to be trained that this is what I'm going to execute. Yeah, you got to learn your
With the
opponent.
adjustments.
See, I played.
Yeah.
So I played tennis. So it was a different. I get it, but it was a different mindset.
Okay.
Meaning, like it's like almost like with Mike Tyson. He going and he gonna knock you out. Bow. With tennis, if I get you off the serve, I don't have to play you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get that one.
But you got to play when they return it.
Right.
Now
but
what
my
you
whole
doing?
point is my mindset is you're not about to return this 90 mile an hour ball. You're not. And it's coming off a spin. It's coming off, and I'm left-handed. So it's coming so many different ways. It's almost like a pitcher. You're spinning that ball to where the velocity changes, things. Because I don't want to volley you. I don't want to even play you. That's the mindset. Even though I may get into playing you. So that's what I'm saying. When you're talking about boxing, is it all about the knockout? Is it say, hey, I'm going to take him all the rounds? It's a lot going on with that.
And I guess I see what you're saying now. I guess that's where styles and mindset comes into play. What type of fighter you are, but it's a boxing match. Anything can happen. You want to get them out of there, but it's like you can't do that. You can't really have that mentality. Even with Mike Tyson, it might have seemed like he was just knocking people out, but he was setting it up.
Right, he was setting them up.
He was in the right place. Yeah, turning his. Oh, you missed a punch? Boom. A lot of people don't look at even his defense. His defense was really, when he was at his highest, it was amazing.
I watch a lot of his Instagram stuff,
So
man.
Let's talk about your commitment to your diet because you got to make weight in these competitions, right? So how do you deal with that diet and hydration when it's go
No
time?
Taco Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, how do you deal with that?
Well, it's just
It's Monday. He good. We live on Monday.
It's really mentalities like the last few weeks, especially I have 20 days left. So until the last week you're literally probably eating peanuts and barely drinking water because it's all about water weight. A lot of people like losing like 10 pounds a week of. I'm in a situation where I'm 5 pounds off. So like this week I'll be eating like salads, fish, fruits, but it's all about what you eat. You can't really just eat heavy. It's about proportion things right. You have to eat to lose weight as well, and that's one thing I had to learn because I would get to a point where I would try to be like, you know what, I'm a fat. on my spiritual, everything, like I'm just gonna fast. I'm not gonna eat anything. I'm just gonna, and no weight will come off of you. Right. So you have to actually get your right formula. And nobody's body is the same. But as far as me, I make sure I'm eating. I ate a salad earlier. I'll eat a salad tonight. After this, I'm headed to the LA Fitness to work out again. It's the commitment. You have to work out. So I'm doing about 4 workouts a day. Hitting the sauna. So with the diet, it's still that professional athlete commitment and working out and sweating.
So your workout, right? So of course it's cardio. Are you for strength? Are you from stamina? Like what are you?
I'm doing all of it. I'm doing all cardio. Like the morning sessions at the boxing gym. I normally do a HIIT workout with a trainer. I have two brothers, friends that are trainers. Marcus Johnson, he works at the LA Fitness, and my friend Dominique McGee, he's a big trainer out here in Los Angeles. So I normally will do a HIIT workout with them. Head to the LA Fitness, do some miles.
Stop.
Yeah, HIIT workout. Bag. What is that? Yeah.
What are they hitting you at?
Yeah. You getting hit? Are you hitting bags? What's the
hit? Let's get the pistols out. Hit this.
Not that hit.
It's silly. High intensity training. So normally like something like where you're increasing your heart rate. So it's like doing jump squats and then hitting the jumping jacks and then doing, knee to elbow. So just things that keep your heart rate at a certain rate.
Okay.
Like sprinting is considered a HIIT workout. Right. So you want to do that because you can't just do road work, and because your muscles will turn into like a cross country person. Where my first year I was just doing road work, and my muscles.
So what does that mean?
So you're out on the road doing at least 5 or 6 miles.
So that's our running.
That's a big thing in boxing is doing that road work. A lot of dudes back in the day, like Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, these guys, they actually used to do the road work with military boots on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so it's
not supposed to count. We don't understand that.
What he said. But yeah, so definitely the road work is a big thing, and then it's also obviously the visualization that is like I had great advice from a guy who texted me a few days ago. I met him at the Earl Spence Sean Porter fight, and he said, he was a former boxer, and he said, you should think about the fight as much as you train for it, and that's a big thing that I learned also from Michael Jordan. Visualizing, what you're gonna do, so you can do it. So definitely out on that road, that's a lot of things that are happening in my mind is me visualizing, what I need to do to be at my highest performance.
Biggest challenge. Who's from the past fight gave you the most work?
This guy in Houston, Alex Donis. He was a young kid. He was one of those prodigies. I fought him, I believe, twice. And amateur, I fought at 150 just to be comfortable. I'm fighting at 140 as a professional, and I probably will go down to 135. But I fought at 150, so I wouldn't be draining so much weight. Because in amateur, it's different. You don't get that 30 hours to rehydrate and then fight the next day. Amateur, you literally fight like 3 hours after you weigh in. So if you're drained, you're not going to be rehydrated. So Alex Donis, and he's just a tall, big southpaw. He's not a kid anymore. He's an adult, so I won't call him a kid. Hey, Alex. And he was just, just bringing that pressure. And, amateur, the scoring is a little different. So I had to be at a point where it was like my defense was negating what he was good at, which was pressure, and still get my shots off. So, those 2 fights really showed me a lot about myself as far as like I could take someone's offense away and then still implement my game plan, even if they're one of the top fighters, in the city or in the nation. So Alex Donis it showed me a lot about myself. Where the first fight he gave it to, like he won all 3 rounds, and I knew we were in the same division. So I said we're gonna see each other again. He had more experience than me at the time and all that. So I said, the next time around and that's another thing. That first fight, my mind shut down. And once you shut your mind down and you're not thinking, you can only go into survival
panicking,
mode.
Right? Yeah.
You can only do one thing, that's cover up.
Yeah.
So that showed me a lot about myself. Those fights with that young man, definitely.
Well, we got another guest here today. Mr. Man himself, Dwayne.
Mr. Man himself.
So,
and
you got a question for the boxer, man? Because you know,
The
I think
boxer,
you
you
know a
know-
little bit about that sport. You know,
Old
a little.
school style.
Nah,
You
I learned early in my age, man, when I had the boxer guy named Zena Burks from the Golden Gloves and the House of Champions, man. And also I boxed in Folsom State Prison.
I told you he was fighting somewhere.
They used to tell me all the time, man, you gotta run, little D, you gotta run. I'm like, I'm hitting weights, man, I'm knocking him out. Like, man, I got him ring, but this man's gonna do it, man. And he was like, and at first I was like, ugh! And all of a sudden my arms started getting tired, man. And I couldn't hold him up, and then he just drilled. He used to run
Because you didn't have no, because you didn't run.
I didn't run.
Wow.
And in junior high school, I boxed Zena Burks, Emmett Burks, Melvin Burks, man. And Zena Burks taught me a lesson. I caught him with an uppercut, and I seen his eyes water, man, and he was like, all right.
He was good?
So, all right now. So, you know, but then I felt a little bit embarrassed, and I lost my conscious thought. I couldn't, you know, like you say, you stay focused. I got embarrassed, and I got angry. And I just started putting my head and I started swinging like this. I was going to get him.
Yeah, he was like on Facebook.
I lost my whole focus to what I planned, set out to do.
That's
I lost my focus.
That's when you talking about cover, when you lose your focus.
Yeah, I was ready to bite a zero, man.
All right.
But
What brings you to the deck?
I want to still shout out to the LA Sparks, even though in the semifinal game, the third game,
Yeah.
and Alana Beard, Candace Parker, all you basketball players from LA Sparks, man.
Real quick, sorry, D. Wayne, I want to interrupt you, but we got a fan on the phone.
Whoa.
Is it about the Lakers?
Ask him a
Put your
question.
headset.
Ask me a question.
For who? For the boxer?
Is it
The
related?
boxer.
For the
If he
boxer.
give him
Is it
yeah,
related?
There you go.
All right, let's go.
Holla at us.
So, plug us in.
Hello.
Hello?
Hey, caller, where you calling from? Give us your social security number and FICO score.
Nah, I can't.
We don't have nobody.
You lost
Fredo.
her? You lost her?
Oh,
You got to talk.
her.
You got your
She'll call
secret
back.
admirer.
tell
She'll
them to
call
call back. Tell
Yeah,
them to
she'll
ask the
call
question
back.
on social
Yeah,
media.
I
We'll
reached out.
escort
I hope
you out the
Natalie
alley.
White- I hope Natalie White.
Here we go. Let's see.
All right.
No.
She ain't saying
In
nothing.
and out. No.
That was somebody tuning in on the when I went live.
All right, what you got?
But I just want to speak on Derek. Go back to the Lakers or somewhere else, man, because you did imploded, man. You had people so angry, man.
Who did?
Who's this?
Derek Fisher.
Derek?
Man. He put out all the top 9 players, bro.
Wait.
His coaching skills?
And already losing, he put out Candace Parker.
Oh, you talking about in that
Chelsea,
game? I heard about
Alana
that.
Beard.
Yeah.
And Chelsea was like, Candace Parker was like, what? What? Huh? Oh, fine for new energy. He put in bench runners, man, and they just like.
And they had a shot.
They had a shot, man.
They had a shot.
It was so embarrassing.
That was at
I
the
had
Long
all
Beach
the
Convention
kids
Center, right?
At the Long Beach, yeah.
You think that's his coaching skills or something, or what?
His skills, man, was like deplorable, man. And I used to like show pictures of me and Derek holding hands and shaking.
You took him down?
Yeah. So did. I changed my face.
True fan right there.
Yes, sir. And so me and Fredo, man, we enjoyed the game. We had all the kids ready to come back to the next game, but it didn't happen, man.
Oh, the parent, the phone died? Okay, let's
Oh, you better get.
Okay.
You got an Obama phone?
Oh, man, don't call me out. Yeah, my phone died. I'm sorry. This is a really great interview. Wow. This is, I'm really excited. Thank you guys for taking my call.
So who are you? Let's back up a little and tell me like where you calling from and what's your name?
Okay, my name is Queen. I'm calling from Houston, Texas.
H-Town.
H-Town, yes.
Okay.
What's your question?
So did you see the boxer box before, or you know this guy?
I have. I actually didn't know anything about boxing at all until I went to go watch TooSmooth's one of his first fights out in Houston, and I literally fell in love. I was scared, though, but, I really do enjoy watching him box. I'm excited for October 27th. I don't think I've got to see him fight since November of last year. So I'm really excited. But I had a question for him.
Okay.
I want to see, you know, what does he feel is his most challenging thing he had to endure while being a boxer in the boxing aspect? Of course, life can be hard, but as a boxer, what do you think one of your most challenging obstacles is that you face as being a boxer professional?
Is this a everyday thing?
I don't know.
On a day-to-day basis?
Whatever he thinks. I mean, it could be a day-to-day or general. I'm not a boxer at all, so I couldn't even imagine what a day-to-day life would be. So
I think, yeah, thank you for the question, Queen Apoku. But I think just the discipline, the day-to-day discipline, you have to sacrifice a lot as far as if you want to give yourself the best shot, as far as not drinking, not smoking, eating the right things. So that's that thing again when we say sacrifice, commitment, challenge. It's like as an athlete, I really don't want to say it's a challenge, but I understand the question. Like yeah. So the thing that I do have to keep my mind on and make sure that I am accepting the challenge is, you know, just the day-to-day discipline, the working out, waking up to work out even when you don't feel like it.
right.
Like I said, I'm a young man, and I don't like what's the word I'm trying to say? I don't disrespect anyone who loves to drink, smoke, overeat, anything, you know. So just in my prime of my life, you know, in my 20s, you know, not to be committed to say, okay, that's cool. Even if you would love to have fun, you go out, have late nights, you know, eat whatever you want. That's the thing with me. I love sweets. I love ice cream. I love cookies. My mama got me on that type of lifestyle. I love pies. I need to go to Desi House, obviously, because that's where it's at.
Obviously, that's where it's at.
Keep you away from there, man. You got to fight.
You got to fight coming up.
But just making sure the biggest challenge is staying focused and making sure that I give myself
doing what you got to do.
I give myself, you know, 100% and not 90 or 99, but a full 100.
So with that being said, I know you said you're young, you got to focus on all those things. So what about like relationships, girls, you know, getting caught up with all that?
It's a family show.
This is a family show. We want to thank you for calling us. This is a family show. Fredo, take us out real quick. Yeah. We got to let that stay.
Yeah, so name and number though.
My
we in Texas now.
my question for you is, you know, a lot of people. I won't say a lot of people. I'm just going to say from the spiritual aspect of it, right? Mm-hmm. We understand that men identity crisis, you know, and so a lot of us use sports for that outlet or to create that. Military was my identity, soldier, being a soldier. But I think, you know, I think people admire LeBron James' discipline. Not maybe him as a person, but like Jordan had a particular discipline. LeBron James, Kobe, they all have this type of discipline. What do you think your discipline, you know, comes from to where you're able to become this extreme athlete? Because it takes a particular mindset, subconscious mind. You got to manage all of this to be able to get up and go to the gym and go exercise and do those sprints and do that bag work and do that. Like, that discipline comes from something.
It has to come from my upbringing, my parents, my mom and my dad. Definitely hard workers. Like I said, my dad's a pastor, activist. My mom's actually assistant principal of 2 LAUSD schools. They have their masters, they have their doctorates. So I saw the benefit of hard work, you know, from a everyday aspect. And I really, you know, I love my mom, but, you know, as a black man, I will have to give my dad praise, which is I feel like it's sometimes maybe a rare thing, somebody giving their dad praise. So I had to give my dad praise because him being he came in Texas, like he came from Texas at 24, and you know I grew up in Los Angeles, so he might have not understood what it is to grow up in the city and be a kid from LA, but he made sure that I knew that I wasn't of the city and I didn't have to
comply.
Yeah, exactly. To what was going on, just because that's where I'm from and this is where I was being cultivated in, and that really stuck big with me. Like even when the big white T-shirt trend was there, we was like in elementary and middle school at the time, and I know. I'm not saying that I didn't wear white tees, but I know that my dad better not catch me with a white tee. Even to this day, that discipline, knowing that I represent more than just myself. Yeah. And he always used to tell me that, understand that you're not just representing yourself. So that discipline definitely came from the
We got to get out of here, man.
Gotta go.
We got to get out of here. Catch it on social
media.
Thanks, Dwayne.
Yeah. OVN Classic.
Yeah. OVN basketball.
I was at UFC over there, Dr. Dre's building
Check out the
today.
Instagram.
Mr. Smooth.
Cali Sportsman, WDC is now on your radio. Coming live from the Bay, yeah, that way. They talk sports all day, LA. Dropping knowledge, high school, college, trying to score, play by play. NFL, NBA, NHL, that's right, you name it. They gon' bring it to you live. Talking sports and entertainment from the famous and the, you name it.